Hello and welcome to Sports Update. We'll be looking at the latest sports news from around the region and beyond. I'm Kyer Warner.
We'll also look at college football across the nation and check out the latest happenings in all pro sports. I'm Sarah Cummings, and this is Sports Update on EUTV. No Evangel football this weekend, but we had plenty of other sports going on for Evangel.
Oh yeah, lots, and we're going to cover all of them. That football game, really wish I could have seen it, but got rained out, bad weather.
Yeah, weather wasn't looking kindly for those players, but we had a lot of other action.
A lot. And so, the men's cross country ran against tough competition at the Larry Young Invite and placed 11th on the day, being led by Casey Edney with a finishing time of 27:26. The women ran together as a team for the first time this year and was led by Skylar Adams, who finished with a time of 20:05 in 25th place. Saturday, October 8th, the Valor will be back to compete again at the Seminole Valley Stampede in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The men's soccer went to Atchison, Kansas to take on Benedictine last week after an early goal was scored by the Ravens. The Valor defense played lights out for the rest of the game, not allowing any more points to be scored on them, but unfortunately could not get a score themselves. And the game ended 1-0 with Benedictine taking home the win. The Valor will return home September 21st to take on Baker at 7:30 p.m.
The Valor volleyball team went into the weekend with 3 straight sweeps. On Friday, the Valor faced the Park Pirates at home. The Pirates swept the Valor in the 3 sets, handing them their first loss in over a week. On Saturday, the Valor looked to bounce back against the Pioneers of Mid-America Nazarene. Off to a slow start, the Valor would lose the first 2 sets, 25-13 and 25-11. The Valor caught stride during the 3rd set, winning 25-21 and taking the 4th set, 25-22. After each winning 2 sets, the teams headed into a 5th battle where the Pioneers won 15-12. On Friday, the Valor will play Bethel in North Newton, Kansas. On Saturday, the Evangel women's soccer team traveled to Atchison, Kansas to face the Benedictine Ravens. The Ravens grabbed a quick 1-0 lead around the 4-minute mark of the game. The first half ended before the Valor could record a shot, and the Ravens held their 1-0 lead. The Ravens scored 3 more goals to go up 4-0 during the second half. The Valor would fall 4-1 against the Ravens, leaving them 0-2 in conference play. They play William Penn at home on Saturday.
Pretty tough week for Evangel sports this past weekend.
A 1-0 loss for the men's soccer team against Benedictine, and the volleyball team battled hard against Mid-American Nazarene, but just no one seemed to pull out that victory.
Yeah.
Some tough opponents.
Very.
Coming up next, we'll be looking at some exciting college football games from the weekends.
We'll also take a look at the Bears-Packer game and more. Stay with us.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
My kids put skis on as they were learning to walk. I want my kids to be able to have those moments with their kids. Being a scientist, I'm worried about climate change in so many different ways for my kids. From the second you have a child, you want to do everything to protect them. I think our action on climate change is no different. It's just an extension of being a mom.
The Missouri State Bears took on the Arkansas Razorbacks last Saturday, a team that is ranked number 10 in the SEC and put on quite a show for all the viewers watching. Both quarterbacks had a great game, with the Bears QB Jason Shelley throwing for 357 yards and a touchdown, and the Razorbacks QB KJ Jefferson throwing for 385 yards, 2 TDs, and 1 interception. The game was close for 3 quarters until the Razorbacks caught momentum after Bryce Stevens scored an 82-yard punt return midway through the quarter, and the game ended 27-38, with Arkansas taking home the win.
The number 11 Michigan State Spartans played the Washington Huskies Saturday. Both teams were 2-0 going into the matchup in Washington. The quarterbacks for both teams put up impressive numbers in the stat sheet. Peyton Thorne of Michigan State threw for 323 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Michael Penix Jr. had 397 passing yards and 4 touchdowns for the Huskies. Wide receiver Jalen Polk had an incredible 153 yards receiving, along with 3 touchdowns in the Huskies' 39-28 win over the ranked Spartans. A ranked matchup took place in Oregon as the number 25 Ducks faced the number 12 ranked BYU Cougars. The Ducks got off to a quick start, taking a 10-0 lead in the first quarter. A high-scoring second quarter led to a 24-7 Ducks lead at the half. Oregon's offense would continue to shine as they beat the Cougars 41-20. Marquise Irving rushed for 97 yards for the Ducks, and QB Bo Nix recorded 2 passing touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns in Oregon's dominant offensive performance on Saturday.
On Sunday night, the Chicago Bears traveled to Green Bay to face off with their longtime rivals, the Packers. The Packers came out and got to work quickly and kept the tempo exactly where they wanted most of the game, with Aaron Jones rushing for 132 yards and a touchdown, along with a great game by Aaron Rodgers. He threw 19 for 25 with 234 yards and 2 TDs to keep his dominating record over the Bears and secure a 27-10 win.
Some impressive offensive performances we saw in those football games we talked about. What were your thoughts on the Jets game this past weekend?
That game was honestly very surprising to see the Jets come out and win. They scored 2 touchdowns in about 15 seconds, it looked like. They had 1:55 left on the game, and they came back and won 31-30.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I had my eyes on that Saints-Bucks game. So the Buccaneers just beat the Saints, but it was a close one. I feel like we had a lot of close games this past weekend.
Oh, yes, a lot of them. When we come back, we'll have the EU TV Player of the Week.
We'll also have your upcoming Evangel games. We'll be right back.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
It's time now for the EU TV Sports Player of the Week.
This week's EU Sports Player of the Week is Sierra Reyes of the volleyball team. Sierra is a senior from Nixa, Missouri. In a heated game last Saturday, Sierra led the team with 11 kills and a total effort score of 12 points for the team. Though the match was a loss for Evangel, Sierra's effort kept Evangel in the match against an undefeated opponent, taking Mid-American Nazarene to 5 games to win in a close Game 5. Congratulations to Sierra Reyes.
Big congratulations to Sierra Reyes.
That was an impressive battle against Mid-American Nazarene. To come off of getting swept by Park and then to battle up against a team that's undefeated is really impressive. So congratulations, Sierra, for leading your team throughout that. And now, let's go to the upcoming games of the week. Men's and women's soccer are going to take on Baker Wednesday, September 21st. That'll be a home game with the women playing at 5 and the men following at 7:30. And Saturday, they'll have another home game against William Penn with the women at 5, or the women at 12 and then the men will play at 2:30.
The Valor football take on Grandview, number 2 ranked team in the nation, Saturday, September 24th at 6 p.m. in Nixon, Missouri. It's gonna be a great game, can't miss it.
For volleyball, they look to bounce back against those 2 weekend losses against Missouri Valley. They'll travel to Marshall, Missouri on Tuesday, and then on Friday they're gonna play Bethel and Haskell at 3 and 5.
And then we have the men's and women's golf. September 26th through the 27th, they will be at Kansas Wesleyan Invitational.
Men's and women's tennis are going to play the KCAC Fall Individual Championships in Winfield, Kansas, and that'll be September 23rd and 24th. Go Valor! That's what our next week looks like. I'm really excited that football is going to be back. After a rain out, it's going to be really exciting to see those guys go out and hit the field again.
Oh yeah, and they're well prepared. I've talked to the coaches, I've talked to the players, and I think they're going to have a great week,
Going up against Grandview, I think personally that's my game to watch over this next week. I'm really excited. Well, that's all the time we have today for Sports Update. I'm Sarah Cummings.
And I'm Kyer Warner. Be sure to join us next week as we bring you the latest in sports news. For more information on Evangel Sports, go to evangelathletics.com. This has been Sports Update on EUTV.